Honey, I was in Bali acting like a tan Julia Roberts, okay? Just eat, pray, love moments everywhere. Hey babes, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, I'm Aubrey. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss a video. So I'm back from Bali, and you know that I had to sit down and give you all the tea on Bali, okay? So in this video, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know before you go, and make sure you watch till the end of the video to hear about my crazy taxi story. Can't make this stuff up. Let's get started. So I decided to pick Bali as my first solo travel destination. I've never traveled by myself before, and I decided, why not Bali? Why not now? And I was out in Bali for a little more than a week. So first I want to start off with some of the things that I did before traveling out of the country, starting with vaccinations. Yes, I decided to get vaccinated before I went to Bali, Indonesia. I got 4 different shots, and I think it was like a little less than like $150, less than $200. And I go into full detail about vaccinations, what I decided to get, what the CDC recommends when it comes to vaccinations for different destinations, and all of that is linked in a blog post for you in the description bar below. Now, before traveling out of the country, I also made sure that everything was good to go with my passport. I had got my passport actually less than 2 years ago because my mom and I traveled out of the country to go to Cuba, so I knew everything was good with that. And I also have linked in my blog post below information on getting a visa. Do you need a visa to travel to Bali? In my case, I didn't need a visa. So because I was there in Bali for less than 30 days, I didn't need a visa. Now, if you want to stay longer than 30 days, you will need to get what's called an extended visa or a visa on arrival. So during my stay in Bali, my girls and I decided to rent a villa, and the villa was called the Africa House. It was beautiful and tucked away in the town of 𝐬𝐞𝐥𝐿. We were literally walking distance from 𝐬𝐞𝐥 Square, which is where you can do a lot of great eating and shopping. So in 𝐬𝐞𝐥 Square, like I said, you're gonna find the boutiques. That's where you can go and get your swimsuits. That's where you can get like your really cute loungewear, your casual like sarong looks and all of that. At the boutiques is not where you go and do your Bali bargain. If you haven't heard of that, let me break it down for you. The local markets where you're gonna see stuff kind of hanging outside and it looks kind of like a 𝐬𝐞𝐿. When you see those types of setups, those are the places you can go and get your Bali bargain on. Those boutiques do not want to hear nothing about no Bali bargain. Here's a great example. I got this purse in Bali. When I was there, the gentleman that was selling me this purse, you guys, quoted me 350,000 rupiah. 350,000 rupiah. No, boo. We don't get down like that. 150. He took it. This is how it works. Whenever you're in the markets and you're in like a very touristy area, they're wanting to ultimately make a sale, but they're going to upcharge because they know you're going to try and meet in the middle or bring them down as low as they can go. And I explain all of this. I do a currency exchange explanation on my blog as well for you babes, so you can understand the conversion rate from USD to rupiah, and it is literally astounding. I converted about $200–300 and brought that with me and did the conversion to rupiah and had a little more than 3 million rupiahs. So the way that I honestly was able to make sense of the currency conversion and just understanding how to spend my money where I didn't have to ask a lot of people around me, because the one thing that I do not want anytime I travel out of my comfort zone or my home state or wherever is to look like a tourist. I just don't want to make myself a target. So I was like, okay, if you don't want to sit here and do the math in your head every time you're trying to go out and buy something, what can you do that will make you or help you remember the value of the money that you're holding? And for me, it was easier to just do it based off the colors. You got your 20,000, which is a darker green color. Then you get down into your 10s, and then after you get from your 2,000, you're starting to look at coins, which could be like 500, 1,000, whatever. you're not really gonna spend your coins that much. You're really gonna start throwing out your 50s, your 20s, and you may throw out your 100,000s. And my girls on the trip were just like so hysterical about it because they just thought it was the craziest thing, because they would say, oh, we're gonna go to dinner or let's go do lunch. And I'm like, okay, cool, I got 4 reds, 2 blues, and 3 greens, so we can do whatever. I'm more of a hands-on type of learner, so for me, doing it through color made it so much easier to shop, understand, and just have a better experience overall. Child, do not get me started on the traffic. In Bali, there could be 3 lanes and everybody is just driving like this. Everybody's just doing the Macarena in a car, on a bike, on a scooter. And a lot of people in Bali actually have scooters just because getting to your destination, avoiding traffic, and getting where you need to go faster is pretty reasonable when you're on a bike, as opposed to being in a full-sized car. Now in America, we are very used to ride-sharing services. So your Ubers, your Lyfts are not a thing in Bali. What you will need is an app called 𝐬𝐞𝐥𝐿, 𝐬𝐞𝐥. This app is your best friend. You can order your food on this app, you can order a scooter ride on this app, and you can order a car to come and pick you up and take you to whatever destination that you need. You can also go out and walk on the streets and get a taxi. Pretty good chance that wherever you are, a taxi will actually come up to you or honk their horn and try to get your attention to see if you need a ride. So you won't have to go very far. So I remember with my girls and I, we went from a beach club to our villa, and on a taxi, it was around like 100,000, or he was quoting us 100,000 or 150. But on 𝐬𝐞𝐥, we were getting quoted like 40,000. So of course, you know, we gotta talk about the Instagram hotspot, and we're gonna start off with the Bali Swing. Now the Bali Swing is so much fun. It is actually like a staple. They have multiple swings, so if you're at one swing, there's someone next to you that's on another one, and it's kind of all in a row. And there were about 5 different swings, and then they had one that could fit 4 people, 3 people, 2 people, and then they also had kind of like the little nest that you see in a lot of Instagram pictures. All of that is in this condensed area. Another very popular spot, the Sacred Monkey Forest. Everybody goes for that monkey selfie. Here's the tea. They're not actually taking the picture. What's happening is there are people that are there that work at the Sacred Monkey Forest, so they are well trained, well organized, and know how to interact with the animals in their natural habitat, and they aren't doing any of this to harm them or hurt them, because ultimately they're just feeding the animals to make the picture happen for you. So there is a gentleman who was standing right in front of me, and then he had, I don't know what it was, some type of like snackable food for the monkey. So he knows that the monkey will come if they see the food. So he held the food up, the monkey came, you sit on the other side, and then they take the picture. But the monkey is reaching up in such a way that it looks like they're taking the selfie. Now, I don't think I'm letting the cat out of the bag or anything like that, because either you know this because you've gone, or you're going because you saw it and you want to get one. So you might as well know, so you don't go in there trying to rush up to a monkey and give it your phone, because boo, you might not get it back. Another great spot to get your Instagrammable pictures for Bali is to go to Nusa Penida Island. This island is not in Bali because ultimately you have to go to a docking area, get onto a boat that then takes you from Bali to Nusa Penida Island. You get out of that boat and then get into another car. The trip to get to the top of Nusa Penida, my nerves were shot. The roads are so narrow because the island is just now starting to kind of like boom with tourism. They're starting to build villas and hotels and everything. So it's like a work in progress setup right now. But everybody and their mama are coming to Nusa Penida Island, so they have to make makeshift roads and pave. And I'll never forget, we were trying to come down and we noticed that it was about this much space. How can I show you? It was like this much space. And there was a car coming in and a car trying to come down. And we're just sitting there like, we are on the top of this island. But it was such a small space that if you sneezed wrong, you could have gone off the edge. Just be prepared when you are traveling on the island, especially going up to the top of Nusa Penida, that you need to wear your seatbelt. Wear your seatbelt, period. But in Nusa Penida, wear two, just in case. While I was in Bali, I didn't really have an expectation of what type of food I would eat. I know I'm going to an Asian, destination, so I expected, your vegetables, your rice, your noodles, things like that. And honestly, with every meal that we had, pretty sure rice, soup, vegetables were served in some capacity. I'm really glad we went the route of having like someone guide us through the island every day, because every day we ate somewhere new. If you made it to the end and you ready to hear this crazy taxi story, hit the like button so I know it's real. Okay, here's what happened. My girls and I decided to go to a beach club. So we went to Fins. Everybody goes to Fins. Fins and like Omnia are like really, really well-known beach clubs out in Bali, but they're in two different areas. So depending on where you are on the island, you're gonna go to one versus the other. So we were in 𝐬𝐞𝐥𝐿. It was way quicker to get over to 𝐤𝐴𝐻, which is where Fins was, so we went to Fins. We go there and we rode through a 𝐬𝐞𝐥𝐿. So we ordered a 𝐬𝐿, which is like their Uber, to get from 𝐬𝐴𝐻 to Fins in 𝐤𝐴𝐻. So we get there, everything seems fine. We order our food, we're partying, we're dancing, we're having a good time, everything's going fine. Then we realize, oh, okay, hey, we gotta get up really early in the morning, so like let's head back, make sure we're good to go. So the driver proceeds to text me, meet me at the cafe down the block. We're walking down. We're walking, and he's like, I'm in a white Toyota or a white Mazda or something. And there's a ton, all these cars look alike, okay? So we're getting confused. We're like, where is this car? Where is this guy? So I'm just writing him and I'm texting. I'm like, where are you at? Like, what is going on? Are you supposed to be picking us up? Are you a scam? What is this? Meanwhile, as we're trying to find our 𝐬𝐿 driver, every 2 seconds, taxi, 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 need a taxi? Finally realizing that we passed his car and we're getting in the car. We're like, whatever, is this not you? It shows on Uber, just like Uber does. It shows like their name, a picture, their license plate. We're like 2279 𝐠𝐠K, whatever. This isn't you, this is you. And he's like, yeah, you going to Fins? And I'm like, no, we're not going to Fins. We're going to the villa. We're going to 𝐬𝐴𝐻. And he's like, no, I'm taking you to Fins. And we're so confused. We're like, what are you talking about? And so this guy with a walkie-talkie, and we start to realize everybody in that mug who says they're with a taxi has a walkie-talkie. So we're like, okay. And he comes up to the man's car while we're in it. And he says, where are you going? And we're like, who are you to ask? We're looking at the driver like, pull off, man, we need to go. And he is literally sitting there like looking like this. Like he's nervous, he's scared. He keeps telling us, I'm taking you down the street. I'm taking you to Fins. And I'm like, no, you're not. He said, no, cancel the ride. I can't take you. So we get out the car and we're like, what is going on? The guy with the walkie-talkie says, where are you going? Where do you need to go? And we're like, we need to go to 𝐬𝐴𝐻 at this address. And he's like, okay, go to this car. My friend will take you 150 rupiah. And I'm like, what? We were about to give this guy like 30 or 40 rupiah. Why are we paying more to go with your guy? Kid you not. The taxi mafia, taxi boys club or whatever had this whole block corner, and we had no knowledge. We didn't know any better. But ordering a 𝐬𝐿 driver to pick us up in an area that apparently is just taxi owned was not the best thing for us to do. But we didn't get hurt. We were flustered, we were scared, we were nervous. I told you I cannot make this stuff up, but I wanted to include it in this video because I remember when I was getting ready for my trip to Bali, I would spend hours on YouTube just watching video after video. And for me, I wished that when I was doing my little research that I had a video I could go to that kind of just hit on everything. And I hope that's what this video can be for you. And also, like I said, head on over to my blog post, link down below, for more in-depth information on everything we talked about in this video and then some. So if you decide to go to Bali, safe travels, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.